I would urge, you have 6 minutes of spare time in your life to watch that. That was pretty damn good.
Where did you stand on McDonough doing hockey?
He was okay.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, but that's what he is. He's okay. He's solid.
Yeah.
He's the Cade McNamara of broadcasting.
Oh, he's a little better than that.
I know. I'm just trying to think of somebody who's just solid.
I mean, I'll always link him to Trouble with the Snap.
Yes.
That's his vintage call for me.
Yeah.
But he's a Red Sox guy, isn't he? Or
Well,
what?
he's a Boston guy. His father was a great, writer. He was NBC stuff.
Yeah.
He's a great football writer for the Boston Globe anyway. Yeah. And between periods there, there was what Chelios and Messier. Chelios was good. Messier's kind of dry. I didn't understand that to begin with. But anyway,
I believe Sean McDonough was on the call of it January 2, 98 Orange Bowl, in which we went down to the field and heard Scott Frost on the national championship.
oh really?
Yes. He was the big guy the big head guy at CBS way back then. He was nice.
Does anybody like Scott Frost? I mean, all right, Greg had this in his prep about Tony Romo, so sorry for the curveball.
That's okay.
Does anybody like Tony Romo because of his little bickering about the football thing? And honestly, does anybody like Scott Frost?
I'm sure there are people in Nebraska who think, yeah, I know. Around here, no. Because look, I remember when he, besides the whole stuff with you and your team,
Yeah.
okay, when he came in here, Harbaugh's first or second year, right, when he had
UCF, and he said we out-hit him.
Yeah, Michigan killed him, right?
Yeah, yeah, I think we out-hit him, and they lost 30 points. No, they didn't. And I honestly, every time that we play them now, I watch the post-game press conference. I'm getting on the bus going to Denver. I wanted to watch the post-game press conference because I wanted to hear if he had something that they could do better.
You hate watching.
Oh, absolutely hate watching.
Have you met him since he was...
Yeah. In fact, when I was with another station, I interviewed him for Big Ten Media Days a couple years in a row. He's just...
Did you even joke about the 97 thing at all?
No, because it wasn't great. It just... I've joked about it.
Did he know you were at least?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you know for not knowing Antoine Sanderson.
Is it because Scott Frost looks like this? Christmas story?
He just has such a pouty face.
It's just
He looks
wild.
never, no matter what he wears, whether it's a jacket or that gray hoodie, he just never looks happy.
I know other coaches do this, but the other thing that I'm watching, they have this traditional walk out that they do in Nebraska. It's like the team walking out of the locker room, the fans are in the hallway cheering them on. It drives me crazy that he walks out in front of them. Instead of having your seniors, your captains, that drove me crazy because the cameras are all focused on him. The story is about him.
I don't like. You know what? That's something that I've kind of grown to not like. And you know who does that too? Dabo at Clemson. Oh, he's the first one down the hill. Touch hair back, run down that hill.
Yeah.
Greg might hate Dabo more than Stone.
I know. Well, let's be honest, most people around the country and here, who really likes Harbaugh? I'm talking about people who don't know. I'm talking about the average person. He doesn't have that engaging personality.
He's not warm and fuzzy.
Yeah, I mean,
It's quirky a little bit.
A little bit like Scott Frost to a certain extent.
No, not at all.
Jose, you talked to
So Jim, we're talking about the differences. Jim, and one of the things that you and I both we caution ourselves about is asking him a question that he doesn't run through the roster.
Right.
Because he likes to talk about his guys. It's always about his team. It's about the guys. When you see Scott Frost or you hear him, it's just not about his players. It's always at some point about him. And it just watching him walk out on Saturday night like he was going to take the field. Like it was him on the field. It just
Come on now. With all being fair to you, really Harbaugh wears cleats or we're used to it at least.
Yeah.
okay, so I mean
He thinks he's playing too.
he but it's the fact that he's standing in front of his team like it's about him. That is senior.
Okay, but my point is around the country, Harbaugh is probably disdained as much as Scott Frost is. Yes, believe me, I have friends who, I'm forgetting the Michigan State.
Yeah, your East Coast friends, they hate everybody.
No, they don't. I never heard them say anything bad about D'Antonio or people like other coaches. They just because especially early in his tenure, Michigan, Harbaugh would bitch a lot with the referees. I kind of like that. But
Yeah. I like that. I like that when the hat would fly up.
Yes. All right. Enough of that. Here's Christopher Long.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. An Odyssey station. Sports headlines. All day, every day. From the Sold by Mike Z Sports Desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Working through a slew of injuries, the Lions added defensive back to their roster from Pittsburgh, signing Mark Gilbert from the Steelers practice squad. They'll also test the finger of left tackle Taylor Decker in practice today to see if he's ready to return from a multi-week absence from the blind side. The plan is to return him to his spot and shift rookie Penei Sewell back to right tackle. That was according to head coach Dan Campbell on Monday, who said they're going to continue to talk about it, but you can pencil that in. Detroit's Week 6 opponent, Cincinnati, coming off their own roller coaster loss to Green Bay, expected to have quarterback Joe Burrow ready to play on Sunday, despite a precautionary trip to the hospital for a throat injury after their game on Sunday. Young point guards Killian Hayes and Cade Cunningham are out for the Pistons exhibition tonight in the Big Apple. Hayes in the concussion protocol. Cunningham been dealing with that ankle issue all preseason long. Detroit versus New York will be a 7:30 start and can be heard right here on 97.1 The Ticket with pregame at 7:05. NHL opening night, Vegas spoiling the debut of the Kraken 4-3. The Penguins beat up on the Lightning with 4 third-period goals, winning 6-2 in Tampa. The Lightning may be a little bit angry when they face the Red Wings tomorrow night for Detroit's first regular season game. Also, the MLB scoreboard, Astros beating up the White Sox 10-1. They advance to the ALCS. The Braves eliminate the Brewers 5-4 to advance, and the Dodgers, they stay alive with a win over the Giants at home 7-2. Their next game going to be on Friday night for all the marbles. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Chris Millar. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studio, Stoney and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
97.1 The Ticket. There's the Stoney and Jansen program. Wojo will join us for Wednesdays with Wojo at 9:35. Dylan Larkin will join us at 9:02. Robin Brighton, good morning.
Good morning, Stoney. Good morning, John.
Good morning.
I kind of just wanted to check John real quick, and you need to take off your Michigan goggles for a second. When have you ever seen a head coach put on wide receiver gloves, clean, and catch about 50 passes in pregame warm-ups like he's going in at wide receiver?
I don't have any problem with coaches playing before the game, and I hear
But you have a problem with Scott Frost.
Yeah, I do have a problem with Scott Frost, and I've got a lot of problems with Scott Frost in regards to how,
Michigan goggles, take them off. They're the same thing, the same exact thing.
No, it's not. When you walk out 3 yards in front of your team and the cameras are focused on you and you know it, if he wants to do that, then walk out next to your team. Walk out hand in hand with your captains.
Fair enough. I think the wide receiver glove, it's kind of, if we're talking about spotlight, make it about yourself. How about you get your team ready instead of acting like they're about to go into the game and play?
It's an hour before the game even starts.
Regardless.
It is weird. I definitely agree with you. It's strange. I don't know if it's about conceit or anything like that, like Frost is. But Frost never looks happy, and Harbaugh is the picture of bliss. Really?
What?
I think he's
No,
being
I think
sarcastic.
I think there's some heavy sarcasm
That's
in
not
there.
from John in Plymouth. is it?
Brian Kelly does the same. Scott Frost.
He walks out in front of his team like that.
I would say with Brian Kelly, I think he's pretty accountable.
Yes. Scott Frost is Todd from Breaking Bad, doppelganger. Another reason to hate him. Frost is a total Biff Tannen. That's from Back to the Future,
Yes,
right?
yes.
PJ Fleck is that look at me first guy as well. Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
especially his fourth quarter sprint or every quarter.
Yeah, I know. Stoney is wrong again. Scott Frost makes Harbaugh look like JC himself. Yes, Jansen. Harbaugh is a doofus. He's quirky. There's no doubt about it. But I'm telling you, other fan bases have similar feelings about the Harbaugh as they do towards Scott Frost. They do. That's just the way it is.
Speaking of coaching, there was a high school in northern Michigan that was preparing to play against a winless team, and it is Benzie Central, who has a very good player. And I'm going to leave the players' names out of this since I probably if you want to say it, you can.
Okay.
And they were playing Kingsley, who is so Benzie Central is a good team.
Right.
Kingsley is not.
Right.
They played
Benzie Central's really good, allegedly, and Kingsley's really, really bad.
allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
So September 29, they played.
Yeah.
And Benzie Central ended up winning that game 17-0. One of their players had 16 goals in that game. And Kingsley, the parents, I don't think there was anything in here from the coach, at least not in the articles that I've read. But the parents were a little upset with the fact that they scored 16 goals on them, or that one player scored 16 goals, basically running up the score, setting a record.
It was a state record for most goals scored in a game. The kid's name is Kevin Hubble. He's supposed to be a terrific player, so I'll give him his credit.
Okay. And so here's some of the quotes from a Kingsley school board member who also had a son on the team who was the goalkeeper. He was firing them off like a rocket. We went over and hugged our boys. That's what was needed. Their hearts were bleeding. It seems a little dramatic to me.
A little dramatic, but that's the mother of
one
the
of the
goalies.
Yes. And so the school board at Kingsley is putting together a petition and signing a letter of poor sportsmanship by Benzie Central because of allowing one player to score 16 goals, set a record against them, and they're saying embarrass them, or sounds like they might have been worried about their child's health.
I mean, you go through this all the time when you have such a mismatch of talent. The game was called at the halftime too because it was a blowout.
Yeah.
Okay, that's number one. Number two, I kind of do feel that it was cheap. Not that they scored 17 goals, but the one kid scored. If you're a really good player and you want to get the state record for goals, you do it against a really crappy team. And I don't know. I mean, I would have liked to seen the game to find out if they just kept feeding this kid constantly, or he would take the ball, and just dribble up the whole field by himself and not pass, and just where it was basically the other team was like pylons. To me, that's kind of whatever. I don't care that much, but I think it's kind of weak. If you're going to want to score, set a record, do it against a good team. Don't do it against a bunch of sad sacks.
You can't do it against a good team, Stoney, because they're good.
I know, exactly.
Right. Yes, and
so pick a team that probably should.
No, they didn't pick the team. This team was on the schedule. They played them next.
I understand.
And if Kingsley didn't want, if they felt like they were in harm's way, then don't go on the field.
Okay, but why? So why did they have to have this kid score all the goals? Why couldn't they spread it out? I'd have no problem if they, 17.
I didn't see the game.
Me neither. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and so, but it doesn't really matter to me. I don't. If this kid is that good, I'm not going to hold him back just because another team is sorry. They're just bad, and if the talent level is there, if there's a discrepancy that large, then don't play the game. Don't schedule this opponent. Just call it off before it even happens.
Well, there are ways in soccer too. I mean, you can just pass the ball, work on your passing skills and things like that. I mean,
but you also are preparing for other teams that you're playing. You are preparing for those good teams.
Yeah, but this kid just basically scoring on a goalie that stinks. I mean, how's that preparing? I don't know. Look, to me, it's kind of weird. If I want to set a record, I want to set a record that means a little more than Little Sisters of the Poor.
I think we're getting lost in the whole thing here. That the record, if it's against a bad team, then the record, the value of that record may not look or
Right.
appear to be what it is.
Right.
But the fact is that they want to send a letter that they were playing with bad sportsmanship just because they couldn't stop them.
Well, and also, like I said, without seeing the game where they were purposely just feeding this one kid, I think that's different. I don't know. Like we've had in basketball, every once in a while, we see these stories of teams that just run up the score, like 120 to like 20 in high school ball, and the team presses the entire game. I mean, that's ridiculous. Some of that stuff.
And maybe I don't know soccer well enough to know if there's if there's an equivalent to a full court press in soccer. But as I understand it, it's you get the goal is to put the ball in the net. And if you can't be stopped, then you do it until the time runs out.
Hopefully he did it in a way that he would normally do it. He wasn't just, let's set this guy up and, have him just blast, shots from like 10 feet away.
Or what happens after each goal
Yeah.
is probably more what I would be concerned with. I don't have a problem with him scoring the 16 goals or 17 goals for the team. It's after, 4 or 5 and that this is going to be a rout.
Mm-hmm.
You don't celebrate after those goals. You
Right.
just go back, you tee it up, and you do the same thing.
Right. Or, you kick him in the ankles.
Take some shots at him.
Exactly. Heather has news coming up next.
I sure do. You guys, Mick Jagger, he's 78 years old, but he is definitely not letting his age stop him from having a blast during his tour. I'm going to tell you the latest things he got into during his stop in Nashville.
Oh, nice. 97 won the ticket.
Get your payout before the game's out with BetMGM. Place a moneyline wager on any Thursday night football game. And if your team is up by 10 or more points at halftime, you win. That's the full payout for only half the game, no matter what happens the rest of the way. I think Stoney's going to do that when we're out in Vegas. I mean, it's the Bucs-Eagles. He's got to bet on his Eagles, right? Simply go to your BetMGM account and opt in each week to the Thursday night halftime payout promotion. Want to continue wagering in the third quarter? Keep it rolling with BetMGM's extensive live betting options. Need to hit the sack early? Use your winnings to place a one-game parlay on Sunday and go for gridiron glory. If you're new to BetMGM, download the app today and see how you can turn halftime into cash time. Make a moneyline bet on Thursday night, and if your team is up by 10 or more, you'll win at the half. Only at BetMGM. And guess what? The NHL season started last night, and we got the Red Wings starting tomorrow night. This is a new customer offer, paid and free bets. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older, Michigan only. Gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center. A look at the drive this morning, dealing with the typical slowdowns through road work. But first off, there's an accident. Lodge Freeway southbound just after Pallister. It's blocking the right lane and shoulder. You can try Woodward as a possible alternate. 75 southbound traffic still slowing down from 14 to 12 Mile and again near 8 Mile. 275 northbound traffic heavy approaching Eureka Road. And then northbound is slow from before Ford Road to M1496. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
Get the latest sports news and inside information about Michigan and Michigan State on the 5 Star Zone with Rico Beard. Download it today on the Odyssey app.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who miss the fairway all day and still pull out the big stick, the type of guys who will always prefer to be behind the grill than in front of the camera, and the men who never let their friends forget about a high school nickname. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true in the face of flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Now more than ever, getting your flu vaccine is essential. Flu vaccines are proven to be safe and effective. In a typical year, flu vaccinations prevent millions of illnesses and thousands of hospitalizations and deaths in the U.S. Everyone 6 months and older should be vaccinated this flu season. To protect our essential workers and those who are at highest risk for flu complications, such as people over 65, children younger than 5, pregnant women, and those with underlying health conditions, we need to face the flu together. Help us hit the flu head on. Get your flu vaccine to protect your community and your loved ones. Learn more at michigan.gov/flu. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
You love Zoom for video meetings? Now, choose Zoom to power your phone communications too. Zoom Phone works seamlessly within the Zoom app as your business phone system. Zoom Phone's secure HD audio and enterprise-grade reliability keep you connected to your teams and your customers. And it's easy to use on mobile, desktop, or desk phone. Empower your workforce with Zoom Phone. Zoom, how the world connects.
Join 97.1 The Ticket Street Team at Big League Blues and Taylor this Friday from 7 until 9 p.m. Swing by and you can win a ton of tickets to see the Detroit Lions on October 17th in the Miller Lite Tap Room. Get more info at 971theticket.com. Hey, it's Boomer Esiason. When you have your own business, you basically have to do everything. That includes hiring, which can become a second job. That's why there's Indeed, the all-in-one hiring platform that makes it easy to attract, screen, and interview candidates all in one place. With smart tools like Instant Match, you instantly get a list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed fit your job description the minute you sponsor a job. Spend less time sifting through resumes and more time saying you're hired. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a broken traffic light. Stop and go is the name of my game. It's easy. You go, they go. What was it? They go, you go? And if you have the wrong car insurance, these repair costs could stop you in your tracks. So get Allstate's new low auto rate and be better protected from mayhem like me.
Not available in every state based on coverage and limits selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Bet on the season sports will have up to $5,000 risk-free people. Well, so much even about the idea. Thanks to those being too wonderful and magnificent. I don't care how awesome this makes me. I'm doing this for the people. So just download the app and that first bet is up to $5,000 risk-free. Make the app for the people.
Must be 21. Offer valid in Michigan only to new players. State and bet credits. Terms and conditions apply. See Caesars.com/promos. Gambling problem? Call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline at 1-800-270-7117.
Creamy nut butter makes it delightfully sweet. Roasted nuts make it perfectly salty. Get two great tastes in one delicious bar. Enjoy a Nature Valley sweet and salty nut bar today.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. If you haven't refinanced your mortgage in 2021, you need to call Hall Financial right now to see if you qualify for the no appraisal 8-day close. 866-CALL-HALL, or you can chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
This is Every Leftist with former NFL legend DJ Lang and Joe Jensen. Download it today on the Odyssey app.
That's so awesome. Now the question is November 15th. It's going to think, I don't know.
No, I don't think so. I mean,
Maybe we'll go feather bowling. That place on Woodward? Or Fowling?
Fowling, yes. Yeah, with the football.
Yeah.
Bowling with footballs.
Do that.
have you guys done that before?
Excellent. I have. It's a ton of fun.
Yeah.
It's hard, isn't it? Well, maybe not for you, John. Like, for me, do they have like shorter alleys? Like, I don't think I could throw that far.
Well, honestly, you can probably make any rules you want.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you can go up as close as you want. Yeah, you can go closer.
Closer, or I
Yeah. I did it with my kids. I let them move a little bit closer because at that time when I took them, they couldn't throw it that far. So we just moved on.
I'd like to do it one time. I think it'd be fun. So here's this is going viral. There was a Chicago fan that made a really impressive catch during a recent White Sox game. This is actually their game against the Tigers, so it took place back on October 2nd. There was a ball tossed into the stands, and a fan lent her leg to a friend to use as a glove, her prosthetic leg. The girls kind of said at first it was just kind of a joke. They wanted to see if they could get the attention of anyone in the bullpen, and they took his leg or kind of holding it there, and that's how they used that's how they put the ball. It's a good scene millions and millions of times on TikTok. So it's very impressive, without a doubt. Finally, this is pretty cool if you're into spontaneous trips. Unfortunately, this is not happening in the U.S., but there is an airline in Japan, and they're now using vending machines to sell mystery plane tickets, and they're selling them at a really discounted price. So each machine is filled with basically a bunch of these plastic capsules, and each capsule has a code inside for a plane ticket, and they cost $45. The thing is you just don't know where you're going until you buy them. They're all domestic flights, so you're not going to get an amazing deal, but they're all domestic, but it's kind of cool if you
Right,
just
so if you're in Tokyo, oh God, I'm gonna do this, Oh, sorry, I don't want to. Damn it, I gotta hurry up the hump,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of look. We did the mystery box for Jersey at Brand 47, right?
Yeah.
They have their mystery flights.
That would be a lot
would
of
be
fun.
great. I would love to.
I think it'd be fun for $45 too. Not a huge loss if it's really someplace you don't want to go.
Right.
Yeah, just don't
The
go.
problem is you have to, depending on the climate, what do you pack? But if you're just going to the airport, you leave right there from the airport, or
I would think so.
Yeah.
I would imagine you would, but it might all depend.
Buy a sweatshirt wherever you're going.
Yeah.
Maybe a pair of shorts.
Shop.
That's a good point. Good point by you. All right, thank you very much, Heather. All right, coming up next, Kyrie Irving. A lot of people can't stand this guy, and I understand why. But there may be some people out there who don't like him, who are actually on his side. 97.1.
So you guys, October is one of the best sports months of the year, and my friends at Bet Rivers Sportsbook are here to make it even better. Whether you're betting on football, baseball playoffs, hockey, or hoops, Bet Rivers offers you great odds, profit boosts, and daily promotions. You can also now bet same-game parlays on Bet Rivers. Just pick the games and the legs, then basically sit back and enjoy the action. If you're new to Bet Rivers, October is a great month to create an account. Use the code 250MATCH and sign up, and Bet Rivers will match your first deposit up to $250. With so much going on in the world of sports, you don't want to miss out. Place your bets with an award-winning platform that puts fans first. Go download the app or check out BetRivers.com and start betting with a winner. Bet Rivers Sportsbook, Detroit's hometown sportsbook. Visit BetRivers.com for full terms and conditions. Must be 21, playable in Michigan. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117.
If you're looking for a place to call home, let North Bloomfield Properties find the best place for you and your family. We also provide pre-screened quality tenants to our property owners. We love to match good people to good homes. Contact us today, North Bloomfield.